Greetings, or as my Jamaican people say, Wagwan. Number 3 in Jamaica. Yes, it's my poor Jamaican accent. Shout out to Jamaica. Shout out to all the countries that's listening to the Akashic Space. I'm so excited. I gotta shout y'all out. I'm just so excited. It's so many of y'all. Switzerland, Australia, Africa, Ukraine, Russia, Nepal. I mean, they listening to me everywhere, baby. But number 3 in Jamaica, turn up. I'm so excited about that. So today I had to make a podcast that relates to everybody because this is something that is really, really plaguing our communities. Okay. Um, Today I want to talk about something that is hard to escape. It's a lot of abuse that's happening now, a lot of abuse and stuff that's going on, especially with children. Okay. And I want to talk about molestation. Okay. This is very prevalent because it is so much that goes on with people being molested and especially children. Okay, they doing it now. They got it bad now with the molesting, and you seeing a lot of people that got caught up in that list. You know what I'm saying? With molesting them kids. Y'all know who we talking about. We ain't gonna go into them, but y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. They got caught up with doing this stuff with the children. Okay. And right now, so many Americans experience molestation and trauma. Okay. So in America, 16% of the youth ages 14 to 17 have been sexually victimized. Every 68 seconds, someone is sexually abused. That is disturbing. Okay. Disturbing. Okay. We have to do something. Every 68 seconds, an American is sexually assaulted. Hundreds and thousands of Americans will be assaulted before this audio is over. On the average, there are 463,000 victims under age 12 that's being raped and sexually assaulted in a year. So, ages 12 to 34 are at higher risk of rape and sexual assault. They're at 54%. Age 18 to 34, are at a 54% chance of being raped or sexually assaulted. Ages 65 and older are 92% less likely than the 12 and the 24-year-old to be victims of rape and sexual assault, but they have like a 3% chance of being raped. Women and little girls experience sexual violence at the highest rate. 1 out of every 6 women has been a victim or attempted or complete rape in her lifetime. So 1 out of every 6 women that you see or little girls have been raped. This is disturbing. Millions of women in the United States have experienced rape. As of 1998, an estimated 17.7 million American women have been victims of a rape or attempted rape. 82% of all juvenile victims that are raped, 90% of them, 80% of these victims are juvenile, excuse me. 90% of adult rape victims are female. Female ages 16 to 19 are 4 times likely more than the general population of victims of rape, attempted rape, or sexual assault. Women ages 18 to 24 who are college students are 3 times more likely than women in a general experience to experience sexual violence. Females of the same age who are not enrolled in college are 4 times likely to get raped. Now, men and boys are also affected by sexual assault. Millions of men in the United States have been victims of rape. As of 1998, 2.78 million men in the U.S. has been victims of attempted or completed rape. About 3 of them, American men, 1 in 33, have experienced or attempted or completed a rape in their lifetime. 1 out of every 10 rape victims are male. You are 5 times more likely to be raped if you are in the military or a college student. Transgender students are higher risk of sexual violence. 21% of the transgender, genderqueer, non-conforming college students have been sexually assaulted, compared to 18% of non-sexual, non-transgender have been sexually assaulted. Sexual violence can have long-term effects on victims. Y'all got to think about this when you're looking at people, how much trauma we have experienced. 94% of women who are raped experience symptoms of post-traumatic stress during the 2 weeks following the rape or for the rest of their life. 30% of the women report symptoms of post-traumatic stress 9 months after the rape. 33% of the women who are raped contemplate suicide. 13% of the women who are raped attempt suicide and die. Approximately 70% of rape sexual assault victims experience moderate to severe distress, or larger percentage of this violent crime. People who have been sexually assaulted are more likely to do drugs. 3.4 times more likely to use marijuana, 6 times more likely to use cocaine, 10 times more likely to use other major drugs. Sexual violence also affects victims' relationships, family, friends, and with their coworkers. 38% of victims of sexual violence experience work or school problems if it was done by a significant boss or peer. 37% experience family problems, especially if they was raped by their families, and that's what I'm going to touch on. 84% of survivors who were victimized by an intimate partner experienced professional or emotional issues. 79% of survivors who were victimized by a family member, close friend, or acquaintance experienced professional or emotional issues, including moderate to severe distress or increased problems at work or school. The list goes on. Victims are at risk of pregnancy for all this rape, all this fucking raping that y'all doing to these women, especially indigenous women, which we about to touch on that. Between 3 and 5% of these people get pregnant that are raped. So the average number of rapes and sexual assaults against females bearing children is 250,000 women a year give birth to a fucking rape baby. This is disturbing. Okay? It's disturbing. And we wonder as a fucking people why we can't be lifted up. Look what we do to our women. A nation can only rise as high as its women. Out of all them people that was being raped, out of women, 70% of them are African American, and we only allegedly make up 13% of the population. I don't believe that because black people don't do census. However, we allegedly make up 13%. So you're saying majority of black women have been victimized by rape. That is 7 out of 10 black women. For every black woman you look at, 7 out of 10 of them have been raped or have some form of molestation or trauma. This is fucking sick. And for all the people that I got listening all over the world, I want you to think about it, even if you are a raper yourself. Okay? Because if you're doing all this raping every 68 seconds, just imagine how many people is doing the fucking. It has gone too far. Sexual violence affects thousands of prisoners across the country as well. It's estimated that over 80,000 inmates each year experience sexual violence while in prison. 60% of all sexual violence against inmates is perpetuated by jail or prison staff. This is fucking sick. More than 50% of sexual contact between inmate and staff member, of all which is illegal and non-consensual. More than half of the attacks is illegal and non-consensual. So we just out here just whole raping grown ass men in jail without their consent. The level of the minds of people in America is a fucking insane asylum. I keep telling y'all this. 6,000 to 10,000 military members reported experiencing sexual assault during military service in 2018. Estimated about 20,000 service members experience sexual assault each year. 6.2% of active duty women and 0.7% of active duty men experience sexual assault in the military. Okay. This is a lot. And we have all of this stuff going on with these children and stuff being molested and the people. And this is where the mind of the perversion comes from. 11 countries that have the highest rates of child abuse. Now, I told you we're going to get more on the children. It's some real mental shit going on with y'all and that's out here raping these women and these children. Our government and our Hollywood people are accused right now of child trafficking and having ritualized sex with missing adults and children. Y'all got to ask yourself, how long is we going to allow this shit to go on? A lot of people have a lot of weird sexual shit going on in their homes. You was raised around people that's off and they molested you and you allow it. A lot of people are raised in homes. What happens in this house stays in this house. And a lot of inappropriate molestation shit went on. That shit is passed down generationally. Pakistan is number 11. South Africa is number 10. Bangladesh is number 9. Number 8 is India for child abuse. Botswana is number 7. Zimbabwe is number 6. Russia is number 5. United Kingdom is number 4. Afghanistan is number 3. United States of America is number 2. The world's most developed country has a situation of child abuse, including rape and assault, that is not what you expect. 1 out of 5 teenagers say they have faced some kind of abuse, either in school or at home. The United States deals with almost 20,000 cases annually or better. Australia is the number 1 country in child abuse, has the highest rate. Over 50,000 children there are molested and raped. Okay? It's just disgusting. We have to do better as a people. We got to do better. And the laws on molesting children are getting more lenient by the fucking day. It is sick. For example, Kansas versus Hendricks, excuse me. The Supreme Court ruled Kansas versus Hendricks that a predatory sex offender can be civilly committed upon release from prison. The Supreme Court ruled Stoner versus California that California's ex post facto law, a retroactive extension of the statute of limitations for sexual offenses committed against minors, is unconstitutional. This case requires law enforcement to release information about the sex offenders. It is a modification of the Jacob Wetterland Crimes Against Children and Sexual Violent Offender Registration Acts, which specifies that information about both sexual offenders and individuals committing crimes against children must be released. This shit need to be made public. It needs to be harsher penalties for sexually abusing children and women as a whole. Minors do not have the ability to consent. You got grown women that you can't lick on their fun parts and have sex with them without them having some mental stuff going on. What the hell are you doing it to little children for? It's a sickness. It's a sickness. Incest is fragrant in the communities. Incest is a criminal offense in most states. Some states allow you to be molested by your relatives. This shit is off. The majority of states with incest laws, okay, and child abuse may be prosecuted for incest instead of child abuse offenses. Such crimes are mostly commonly addressed in family courts. They got a lot of this shit going on with incest. And the predators of sexual offenses against children are prosecuted under the same laws without regard to what they're related to by their victims. We got to do better as a people. We got to be able to protect each other as a people, because a lot of the shit that we are allowing them and other people to do to us and to our children is fucking mind boggling. It's mind boggling. I can't, and a lot of these people are perverts and we don't know, because that's a lot of rape. Every 68 seconds, they're finding now that there is an increase in women predators for sexual child abuse. It's an increase. Inappropriate touching of the private parts, molestation, sodomy, pornography. This also traumatizes the victims and survivors for the rest of their fucking life. They will have psychiatric and personality disorders while you just getting off on them like you going to the toilet on these people. And some of y'all are the molesters. Some of y'all is listening and you done had sex with your siblings and shit. You need counseling. You need deliverance, respectfully. I don't give a fuck if that's how you was taught to live and grow up. That shit is wrong. You are not supposed to be having sex with your siblings. We can't blame it that slavery taught us that, because black people, indigenous people was having sex for inheritance purposes to keep the money and shit in the family. You'll hear of ancient stories about people being in love and having babies with their brothers and sisters. They've been doing this shit since the beginning of time, but it's time to heal. We ain't got no financial authority to be keeping nothing going. So there should be no fucking reason that you on top of somebody that you related to. It's a mental illness. It's a level of perversion. And it don't only happen in white households, it happens in black households, and they keep it a secret. It happens in black churches. They keep it a secret. Not anymore. I want y'all to start speaking out on molestation. We can only rise as high as our women. If y'all want the world to change, get off the top of them women, forcing yourself on them. For all these political people running around raping these kids and shit, we need to do something about this. I'm not promoting violence. I'm stopping the violence. This is sick as fuck. It's sick. 30 to 40 people will be molested before this audio go off. You can't even trust people around your kids no more. These motherfuckers is sick. Get your children out of these public schools, because they touching our kids in these schools doing sexual acts. You don't know what the fuck is going on. We need to be more around our children, more involved in protecting our women. I'm gonna talk about police brutality on my other audio, and how we gotta stop watching each other be beat the fuck to death and wrongfully arrested. Why city officers, these motherfuckers ain't no authority, but city officials that we pay them to work, kill us in the street. And don't hit me with that nationalizing shit, because not even half of the police force is properly trained on their own fucking policing laws and the legislation that they have, let alone be trained in how to know if you're a Moorish citizen or not. It's like being in domestic violence and you got Moorish citizenship and you got a paperwork that he can't be on the property. What the fuck we gonna do? Wave it to the abuser? He'll come in and beat your ass. They not worried about us having no citizenship. Ask Corinne Gaines. God rest her soul. They murdered her in cold blood. And she was a Moorish national. Them white folks don't give a fuck about you and your paperwork. You better believe it. They'll murder your black ass in cold blood and get off. That's how they get down. But I'm telling you, all of this stuff is coming to an end. When we get to a point, we stop allowing certain shit to partake the same way they came over here with a little minuscule people and wiped out 3 million people, is the same way we can wipe out this little corny ass system that they got going on. It's more to us than what we think it is. It's more than 13% of indigenous people here. Black people do not do census. I don't know why y'all think them black people is filling out that information, and they ain't. A lot of us are in prisons, incarcerated. They keep black people incarcerated for the stupidest shit. Okay? The stupidest shit. They want you to be in labor with them. Ain't even no safe place. My grandma Edna Smith used to say, great grandma would be like, ain't no safe place for a nigga, child. As long as you got these people running around doing this, ain't no safe place for no black people in America, nowhere. That's why a lot of this stuff that's going on in America, we got to be able to protect ourselves. America do not give a fuck about its people, especially not black people. This ain't a lie. This is the truth. You can't ban or block the truth. This is the truth. How you the most economically developed country in the world, number 2 for rape. Number 2 for rape. Raping your own women and children. Sick. Ain't made no laws. Fighting right now about if a woman can have an abortion or not, because y'all want baby fetuses to eat and make makeup with and shit. Sick. America's a fucking insane asylum. And that's just what it is. They're sick. The American government is sick as fuck. I hope y'all listening to this. They treat black people like shit. I was in Washington, D.C. about a week ago. I go downtown. I'm in Lafayette Square, downtown D.C. I stayed at the Hamilton Inn. I go downtown Lafayette, walk down 14th Street to go down to where they got a street called Black Lives Matter. Now, remind you, on this street, Black Lives Matter, they got all these homeless black people in the middle of fucking Lafayette Square sleeping in tents. It looked like the Hobo Hotel. It looked a damn mess, but it's on Black Lives Matter. They show you how much Black Lives Matter. If my next audio, we're gonna go into how much Black lives really matter. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna give you statistics. Okay, it's time we start lifting up our women. It's time we stop molesting our children. Cause some of y'all is fucking your kids and you need help. Some of y'all is doing inappropriate touching around your children and you need help. You need help. And it's more people than that's willing to admit that they are the molester. You need help. And it is also a spirit of fucking perversion. We need to do better as a people, like flat out. You know, and again, I want to thank all the countries over the world. Since y'all listening, we got to start protecting our children. We got to start uplifting our women. A nation can only rise as high as their women. And if you raping them and fucking them and going to the toilet on them, what do you think your nation is? What do you think it is? Fertilizer? That's about as high as you getting when you raping and torturing the women. Sick. We got to bring a level of correction to our minds. Where is your souls? These are children. Okay? We had a situation in our family where a person that was close family friends of ours took pornographic pictures of the children that she had encountered in her life. They hide it. Oh no, I went right to the fucking police. I'm not hiding it. I went to the police. I reported her. That's sick. She has a mental illness. I'm not about to be having her sitting up around kids after we done verified that you're a pedophile. You need mental help. That's not normal to fuck a child at all. Okay? I reported her dumb ass. And I got some family members that's hiding her dumb ass. They'd rather hide her and take care of her than tell, yeah, she fucked all of us when we was little. Just keep it 100. Okay? It's a lot of inappropriate shit that goes on. I remember being a young girl and a lot of my cousins, babies, dads and shit was trying to fuck me. I'm 12, 13 years old. They inappropriate on the low. Just inappropriateness. Y'all have to get a level of control over the level of perversion that y'all operating with. You're a fucking pervert. You got to control it. Respectfully, get control of yourselves. Watch your children around these men and these fucking women that you dating too. Because some of them ain't right. I had one of my male clients, his stepfather had them topping them off and shit when they was teenage boys. And the mom running around wondering why they gay. Because your boyfriend had them topping him off. Pay attention to your kids. You got to watch your children around other children too. Them little motherfuckers be perverts too. I had a girl, I'm braiding her hair. Her daughter is trying to get my 4-year-old daughter to suck her breast. What the fuck y'all got going on at home? I beat the fuck out of them. And like, what the fuck? You better beat her ass or I'm gonna beat the fuck out of her. What is wrong with you? Y'all need counseling. You cannot bring your children around people if they're perverts. And you know they perverts. You done caught them doing sneaky weird shit. The other kids and their own siblings. Do not take them out. Get them counseling. Because you open up that demonic ass spirit onto other people's children. Disrespectfully. It's trifling. We got to check our energies, man. And this concludes this podcast on molestation. I appreciate all your questions. I appreciate all your likes, shares, subscribes. But we really got to do better as a people. That's what the Akashic Space is all about. Letting you know and become aware of who and what you really are. Recognizing the wretch that you are and tapping into your divinity. Divine beings are not molesting and raping each other. It's better things to do than molest and rape your own people. We got to protect each other. I love y'all, and it's not nothing that you could do about it. We need to integrate and heal this situation with molestation. It is ruining our lives. Protect your children, protect your wives, protect your family. Watch your back because they're child trafficking. Watch your children. Okay. And I love y'all and have a wonderful day on purpose.